Hey, I'm back in the shop. My wife asked me if I could make a sliding tray to go in one of the drawers I made a year ago. So let me get the camera set up down here and we'll get going on this. Okay, we're gonna get 2 strips off of this and then we'll see what we have after that. Need my outfeed table. So I need 2 pieces cut 11 and 13/16. So let's set that up. Alright, so I have my 2 6 and 5/16 and I have my 2 ones for the width. I just need to now glue and these onto there so that they'll overlap this way. Actually, I probably will brad nail them too. So we're going to get set up over here so I can glue and brad nail. Okay, I'm all set up over here. I got my brad nailer, my glue. I'm going to glue these in between those. So I'm going to put a little glue on the end of this. I'm going to glue it there. I'm going to grab my... just to make this a little easier. That way I can stand it up here with my nail gun. And that one's done. Alright, there's our box, except for I have a nail sticking out there. I'm going to have to grind that off. Let me go do that real quick. Alright, let's get those cut again. So let's see if I can find a way to cut these over here. Alright, we got those cut. I got to go clean them up on the grinder. Okay, I got those all cleaned up. I'm going to put them on the grinder and straighten out the edges and then round over the corners so they're not sharp and doesn't offend anybody's hands. I will do that off camera, and then we'll come back and we'll drill some holes in them and we will mount them on the tray. But I got to go measure the tray and make sure the tray fits where it needs to be before I get them on there. So I'm getting ready to drill these. I marked them out. I put a center mark and one at 5/8 end in each end. I got a block of wood here. This one to use for a countersink. Try that and see what it looks like. And I think that'll do it. Yep, that'll work. All right, let me get this out of the way. I got to pre-drill them. I got to make sure they're flush with the top. I think I'm going to get a clamp, lay it down. Okay, she's totally flush. We drill a pilot hole. I'm gonna move this one over a little bit. It's on my hole. Now the problem I have is the screw is way too long. I need to cut it down, but I can use this to start the screw before I cut it, and then I got to go cut them down. And I need to cut them down about 3/4 of an inch. It's short enough. Should be. Let's try putting it in here and see what it does. Okay, perfect. Okay, I got a couple more cut off. I got to leave one with on it for the threading. Let's put this one on. Okay, that's 2 down. Let's get the other one on now. So we're going to sit this one over here. Okay, now, since I have the flange on the other end, I can't do the exact same thing. Take this one off, use it to hold this thing from wiggling, and go cut this other one off. So if I measured everything correctly, this thing should fit in there. If it does, I can come back down and then cut the bottom for it and put the bottom on. That's gonna be the same thing, glue and brad nails. So let me get back to that in a minute as soon as I come up there and take a test fit with this thing. All right, so we had to make a couple of adjustments. I had to go and make a rebate or rabbet or whatever you want to call it in the edges here so that these aluminum pieces sat flush. Get my eyes out of there and quit focusing on me. Right here. And now it fits fine. But now I need to make a bottom because it's kind of see-through. That should be like a perfect fit for the bottom. Beautiful. Let's go over here and nail it on. All right, so. And we're going to need a paper towel to wipe off any excess on my finger. All right, let's get this thing on. Get our brad nailer hooked up. All right, goodbye, hose. All right, that's done. Now, the only thing I have left to do now is one of these edges a little bit proud. I need to get the router table set up, and you know what? I probably could just do it with a sander. Let's do that with a sander. Let me get my sander. All right, let's turn on the dust collector up here. Sandy. That's all it takes. Don't want to go too far with it because it's just plywood. And there goes my drill bit. I had to make rebates, or rabbets. I guess in Europe they call them rebates, but they call them rabbets, along here to get the aluminum in here flush with the sides of the box. Because the sides of the box were a little wider than I expected them to be when I measured it. Apparently I didn't measure quite right. So I had to make rebates, rabbets, to put these things in so they're flush with the wood. I have sanded all the sides and all the corners so they're not sharp. I'm not going to put a finish on it. It's going to be just like this. This is just a Donna thing she wanted. So if I put finish on it, she can't use it for at least 3 weeks before the smell goes away. Hey, it's me. I'm back in the shop again. So I was making a tray to slide back and forth in the drawers that I made for Donna. I made one, it had aluminum sliders on it, it didn't quite fit right, and the devices that she wanted inside of it weren't fitting very well. So I had to remake it. And I didn't want to use any more of the aluminum because the aluminum is for a different project. So I made it out of wood. So I got another box with a piece of plywood for the bottom and sapele around the whole top of it to make it look nicer. I need to sand this up a little bit and then I need to put a finish on it. I could use the power sander, I'm not going to. Instead, I'm going to use this with round sandpapers on it. I already sanded the bottom of this and the inside of it before I glued it on. I just need to hit these parts and get them all good. Blow it off with a compressor in a minute. So what I'm going to use on this is a product called Minwax Wipe On Poly, and it's the clear gloss. I have a bowl here. I will put a little bit in there. Take a rag, in this case just a blue paper towel, and I just dip it in there and wipe it on. Don't worry, I'm going to put another coat on the top when I'm done. That's all there is to it. I love the way the sapele grain is. It's just beautiful. It's mahogany. It's a sapele mahogany. So that's pretty much it for this video. Like I said, I had to make the other tray over again because the depth this way was too short for the Gridfinity dividers that I made for her to put in here. There's 6 of them. They leave. There's a little bit of gap in between them, not much. I put it in. She tried it for a couple days. Basically, she has measuring spoons and measuring cups in this drawer and measuring devices in this drawer. And basically, this is just to put the spoons in because she uses the measuring spoons more than anything else, and they keep getting lost with all the other measuring devices in the drawer. So that's what this is for. The other one I made, I just threw it in the next drawer down, and she used it for smaller utensils that fit in it fine. So she had like big spoons and like ladles and stuff like that in there, the huge spatulas. And she has these pie cutters and everything else that will fit in the little tray up there. I will get a picture of both of them when they're in place and use those as the thumbnail for my video. So anyway, if you like this video, please like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you know when new videos are coming. Also, let your friends know. Share this thing. The more you share, the more people I might get subscribing, and I can get my viewership up, and we can make more projects, because that's how it works on YouTube. Thanks for watching.